I saw the video Mad Barnes from All the Smoke put out about me regarding LeBron, regarding politicians, regarding me tap dancing. Me tap dancing. Okay. He had his say. I'll have mine. But it won't be just about Matt Barnes.
He's going to attack Matt Barnes, Democrats, and black women. That's a good bet. That's a good bet. I would take that on ESPN bet. They took that off the scroll, didn't they? Shout out to all the subscribers and the members here on the channel. Don't forget to like the video. My name is Reese Waters, and this is Who Raised Y'all, where we highlight those unique individuals going above and beyond to make society worse.
Name the time and place, and I will show the up.
You know, the kinds of people you'll see asking to speak to the manager at the pearly gates.
I want to talk to the manager.
Now today, it's time to address Stephen A. Smith.
Disrespecting Serena Williams, disrespecting Jasmine Crockett, disrespecting Kamala Harris, and tap dancing for the whole Republican Party, the whole white Republican Party.
Oh wait, hold up, Matt Barnes. Hold up, Matt Barnes. Oh, don't worry. We gonna get there. I already had all the smoke for Stephen A. when I saw this.
And you said that you voted for Kamala Harris.
Yes.
And that you regretted it.
Yeah. I know that Joe Biden should have been stepped away, and it was delayed because these people wanted Kamala to be the candidate, and there was no way in hell it was going to happen unless he left when he left, as opposed to earlier where there could have been a primary. She would have had to compete against people.
Correct.
In order that, right? So I know all of that. But I also believed that she was the kind of person that if the power existed in one house of Congress, if not both, that she was somebody that you could get to acquiesce and work across the aisle in order to get things done. That was my belief. And then when I saw how things were unfolding and how out in the clouds the Democratic Party was even after they lost the election, I said, this is no hope. I said, I don't know what the hell I was thinking about believing that y'all would get it, because you still don't get it. You really, really don't. Trump, you bring up the indictments, you bring up his behavior, you bring up all of these different things, and America still said he's more normal than y'all. And you still don't get it. And I thought you'd get it, but you didn't get it. So I lost all faith.
Now, I know what you're thinking. Where did you unearth this footage from late 2024? Oh no, this dropped in April of 26. So let's make one thing very clear. Stephen A. and Sage Steele are the... that wasn't it. That wasn't it. But touche. Now let's make one thing very clear. Kamala Harris lost the election. So we have no idea what she would or wouldn't have done as president. So therefore, the only way a regret for voting for Kamala Harris can be received as a de facto endorsement of Donald Trump. So what you mean to tell me is while we all sit on pins and needles wondering whether or not the man who dropped F-bombs is going on Easter is going to wipe a civilization off the map, as he said, during a war and conflict where he circumvented Congress, the most unpopular conflict we have seen in this country's history up to this point, to which he's answered to no one so far, which wouldn't be the first time because we've seen it happen in Venezuela when they went into a sovereign nation and kidnapped their leader. The man who just did blanket tariffs while communicating to the people that they didn't have to pay them when everybody knew otherwise. You mean to tell me the man who oversaw ICE and the deployment of the National Guard in American cities and is seeking to subvert the midterm elections? And that's not to mention Epstein. All of that is happening right now. And you picked up the phone, called Sage Steele to sit down and say you regret voting for Kamala Harris. Do you realize how out of your way you have to go at this moment in history to take shots at Kamala Harris? You took the basketball, left the playground, got in your car, drove home to hit your brother with it. That's how out of your way you went to take shots at Kamala Harris. This man playing Gran Turismo done left the track trying to mow down one of the vendors. That's how out your way you gotta be to take shots at Kamala Harris. And you wonder why people look at you sideways. Now, I will give you this bit of credit. You did have something to say about Trump's Easter post.
Look, I ain't no damn supporter of Iran, okay? Leading sponsor of terrorism, all of that. Stuff they want to do to Israel, stuff they've already done to America. I ain't no supporter of that, but you're the president of the United States. And you go on social media with a profanity-laced tirade. And then you're going to end it by saying, praise be to Allah. How do you think that's going to help us? How do you think that's going to help us throughout the world? I mean, seriously. For Muslim countries that ain't around. It never ends with this guy. It never ends.
And in doing so, I have to make sure that I'm clear on the fact that the guy who dropped that, the guy who's threatened the stability of an entire region of our country gets your de facto endorsement because of what? I thought that Kamala Harris was going to be the kind of person who could work across the aisle. Oh, you mean like Trump has? You mean like Mike Johnson has? Is that what you mean? Work across the aisle like that? You know, Avengers was too strong. If Blank Man made a team, that would be this. That's what this would be.
One of the issues that has been completely politicized and is embarrassing and pathetic and excruciating for me and inexcusable that it's even a topic is men and women's sports. Period. Full stop.
Not an issue for me. I went on the air. Megyn Kelly she was like, by the way, great job when you appeared on her show. But she asked me, and I looked at her and I said, why are you talking to me like we disagree?
When was that?
We don't. This was over a year ago.
Okay.
I was like, about a year, maybe, I think it was right before the election,
This has been going on since I was still at ESPN with the Riley Gaines, Leah Thomas. I call him Will because he's a man. That story since 2022, I believe. And tell me why. Why did it take 3 years for you to say something that I know you've believed this entire time?
Excuse me. I said it on First Take from day one.
From day one.
From day one.
Excuse me, Sage Steele. What you mean to tell me is as much as you have made your relationship out to be a cozy one, you don't even watch this man's content? You ain't watched none of the appearances he done on right-wing media? This man loves to talk about transgender athletes. That's his favorite lead talking point whenever addressing the Democrats. Oh no, he makes a point to talk about that often. I take this issue though with you, Stephen A. Smith. How come you haven't talked about the people selling bootleg t-shirts down Gallery Place outside the Wizards game? How come you haven't talked about that? Huh? It's way more of them than it is trans athletes. In fact, it's probably 10 to 20 times more of them than it is trans. We don't talk about that, huh? One time I bought some bootleg nachos. They sold me bootleg nachos. That cheese had me not right for the better part of 2 weeks. That should be a talking point. Hey, if we giving this much voice to that, how about we talk about this then? And by the way, to all the bootleg vendors out there, no harm, no foul. I'm good with you. I'm good with you. I'm gonna still be down there Thursday. I was just making a point. That's all. Now let's get to Matt Barnes. Here's how this all started.
Staying at the Hyatt at 41 years old. You think I want to do that? Being in Memphis on a random ass Thursday. I'm not like the first guy to even talk about it in the NBA. Like we all like, you guys have to move. Just go over to Nashville. You got Vanderbilt over there. You got the NASCAR. You got a stadium. Don't they got a hockey team too?
Yeah, Predators.
Yeah. Like they got everything.
Doesn't look like LeBron's going to be on the Grizzlies anytime soon, so Grizzly fans out there.
Yeah, they know. Their only chance was in 2003 if they'd have won the lottery to give me there. And I might have pulled a Eli Manning and not showed up.
So that was LeBron James on the golf course talking about Memphis, Tennessee, and the idea of staying there on a road trip. And I would say that's his opinion, and he has a right to express his opinion. I probably wouldn't have if it were me. It's not that the opinion is wrong. It's just like, why put grit and grind on your bad side? You know what I mean? Why? If your general point is that you don't feel comfortable moving around the city, why would you make it less comfortable? That's all. That's all. You know what I mean? That don't make sense. That's me. But it wasn't a big deal when I saw it.
People have been upset about the fact that Memphis was looked at as a team that, a lot of black people in Memphis, right, compared to like Nashville, for example. So people
Did I say I don't like black people?
No, you didn't say that. But there were people who were wondering why Memphis was targeted. Like
Milwaukee was too. Did they miss that one too? They didn't see that?
Not as much commentary.
Oh, yeah, okay. I said Milwaukee as well. Yeah. 41 years old. It's two cities I do not like playing in right now. And that's Milwaukee and that's Memphis. What is the problem? I don't like going home either. And I'm from there.
Now, his defense was particularly trash. I'll be honest. His defense of it was not good. It was not good. But I mean, the man in his 40s, he not known for defense. He not known for defense, huh? It's players much younger than him whose defense is just as bad. So let's make that clear. But he also said that he's not the only one that has expressed that opinion, which is correct.
Man, I used to hate flying into Memphis, bro.
What you coming to that FedEx? Them boys maybe had him for cracking.
I mean, we gonna stay at that West, and I'm gonna walk across. I'm walking across the street on game day.
What's your least favorite city? Everybody's got to have one.
Yeah, Memphis probably. I mean, the hotel is probably the worst hotel in the NBA. The food there is good though.
Did you ever walk into a hotel room and just be like, "Wow, thousands of people have slept in this bed before me"?
Yeah. Especially when we go to Memphis. I'd be like, damn, my hotels ain't nothing in Memphis. Them shit be dirty. I walked in a Memphis hotel one time, I had stains and shit on the bed.
Stains and shit?
Stains and shit.
They broke in your room for you?
Nah, they ain't break in, but.
No, I'm saying they broke it in.
Yeah.
But it's Memphis, so they might have also broke in.
For sure. Memphis, shout out.
Shout out Memphis.
Yeah.
Shoot out Memphis.
Nah, not shoot out.
Memphis, which should probably be in Nashville, should be an Eastern Conference team. Adam, let them just do us all a favor and take the team to Nashville. No harm, no foul. The relocation fee, it's a swap. See that arena? You ain't got to pay the relocation fee.
But see, the difference is none of those things prompted Stephen A to get frothy at the mouth. It must have something to do with what went down at Staples Center and then the boxing video and that the whole mess that transpired between you and LeBron, because I couldn't imagine knowing that that much content is out there about NBA players taking shots at Memphis, that LeBron's comment would warrant all of this.
It's a bunch of white dudes on a golf course, knowing the cameras are rolling and videoing you without any regard for what kind of effect that would have on a black populace is problematic. Especially when I don't know if it was your sneakers or whatever it was that you just finished promoting months ago about black history and Martin Luther King and civil rights. I think you wore sneakers or something commemorating all of that. When I spoke about what this city needs in order to look out for the vast majority of its citizens who happen to be black that are living there.
Okay, Stephen A. Smith has a lot to say about the black populace and the black population and protecting them. And Stephen A., this you?
Because it's moving in the right direction, but it's still recognized as one of the worst cities in America, to the point where the head of the FBI has called it the murder capital of this country per capita. That's on the record saying that. This is just weeks ago. What are we talking about here? The poverty rate is at 24.5%. In terms of their national ranking, it consistently ranks within the top 10 most impoverished large cities in the United States of America. Big one here, Molly, Doggy, Wendy. 40% of the children in Memphis live in poverty. And when we're talking about all of those things and you're talking about the troubles that exist, these are the kind of things that contribute to the city being deemed by some within the NBA community as unattractive.
And shout out to the black guy who tips for this. This is honestly embarrassing on all parts. He dislikes LeBron so much he stopped agreeing with himself on Memphis and posts a screenshot from March where the Memphis Chamber CEO told Stephen A, F you, because of his comments. Okay, so apparently we have reached a portion of the program where prior stances mean absolutely nothing, and we are completely willing to crash out to go at somebody who we dislike. Downright Trumpian. Downright Trumpian, you know? And you wonder why he regrets his vote. I am going to take this issue, though, because you went the route of the damage to black America. You mean like this? Trump's 2027 budget proposal includes $354 million in funding cuts for HBCUs and other similar institutions. Meanwhile, reminder, Joe Biden gave $16 billion in HBCU funding. You want to talk about it? You want to talk about it? Huh? Because we in full right-wing protection mode. But here we're addressing the damage to the black. You want to talk about it? Huh? Trump administration cancels $300 million in USDA land access program for black, indigenous, and underserved farmers. You want to talk about it? Huh? You want to talk about it? We're talking about the effect on black men and black women. You mean like a whole year of anti-DEI rhetoric with people in position to move accordingly? You mean like that kind of damage? You mean like that? No. You regret your vote for Kamala. You regret your vote for Kamala, so you could go ahead and sign up for all of this. You could sign up for all of this. Remember you said that the American people overwhelmingly said that he was more normal. You seen them polls lately? Because this is the moment when you signed up for it. That's great. He like buying stocks. You know what I mean? He buying low. He buying this when you signed up for it. That's right. At the point where they've been moving so racist, they firing each other for not being racist enough.
So now we know why Pete Hegseth fired General Randy George, the Army Chief of Staff. He would not go along with his racist plan to refuse promotions to a bunch of women and minorities who were clearly qualified. And he did the right thing and he stood up for them. Obviously, discrimination in promotions in the military is illegal. It violates due process, equal protection, on and on and on, a bunch of different military regulations. But that's what it is. He's firing people that we need who have been in a critical position in the middle of war because he's so damn racist. All right? And you have a situation now where Trump is fired Pam Bondi and he's desperate, and you can tell by the way he's acting. And we're getting rid of somebody like this, and when we're about to go into an escalation spiral, it's the worst possible thing you could do.
And by the way, just in case any of our Latino or immigrant or Muslim brothers and sisters happen to be watching and think he might be riding with y'all, here's him defending ICE after the death of Renee Good.
Don't expect this ICE officer to be prosecuted. I'm telling you right now. She was in the car, Renee Nicole Good, 37 years of age, protesting, blocking off the streets. ICE wanted her to move. An officer got in front of the car. Another officer got to the side of the car, and then she tried to take off. And in their eyes, the Christy Noems of the world for the Department of Homeland Security, and other folks on the right are saying, yo, they consider it an act of domestic terrorism because she tried to run over an ICE officer. It's not going to be prosecuted.
Yeah, that's right. He sure enough did. He sure enough did. Ain't nothing too far. He won't try and jump in front of that. Yeah. Hey, check Matt Barnes in the game. Tell him get to 3. Matt.
So I just saw a video of Stephen A. Smith having an issue with LeBron on a golf course with a bunch of white boys, as he put it, talking about Memphis and how they should move to Nashville. And if you've been paying attention on social media, it's kind of a trending topic right now. I played in Memphis, got a lot of love for the city, but there's no doubt that the city needs to upgrade when it comes to its facilities for pro players. But Stephen A., you shouldn't have a problem with that. You're talking about his words and what they mean to the black community, but you've been the same man in front of the camera for the last handful of months, disrespecting Serena Williams, disrespecting Jasmine Crockett, disrespecting Kamala Harris, and tap dancing for the whole Republican Party, the whole white Republican Party. But you got an issue with LeBron talking about a trending topic, and his words carry weight, and he doesn't understand what his words can do to the black community. Do you understand the bullshit you're talking and what that can do to the black community? We all used to have a lot of love for you, bro, particularly me, because you looked out. But we're not gonna forget the bullshit you're on right now.
Oh yeah, he's been paying attention. And I would also note that Matt Barnes wasn't actually coming from a place of malice. He ceded, we all had a lot of love for you. He said that you looked out, but he had to call it like it was. Something that you say that you do, Stephen A. But it's been a long time. Here comes Stephen A. with a response video. He's going to attack Matt Barnes, Democrats, and black women. That's a good bet. That's a good bet. I would take that on ESPN bet. They took that off the scroll, didn't they?
But what you just did, what I just saw, that was fucked up on a multitude of levels. So I'm just going to address it one by one, okay? Couple of things. Let's talk about LeBron. Why y'all all acting, were y'all flamethrowers? You employed by the brother? Why are we overreacting to every damn thing that he's LeBron? He makes news. I report on it. I'm not an influencer.
Stephen A. Smith, are you accusing literally any other human being on earth of overreacting to something? You know, elevated voice, bold chest. Are you accusing literally any other human being on planet Earth of overreacting to something? After you just did a whole segment on LeBron echoing something we've heard many NBA players say before, is that what you're doing?
It's my job. It's my job.
Overreacting? Okay. Is that the head of the job title?
First Take is on the show, on the airwaves, 10 a.m. to 12 noon every weekday morning. Sirius XM is on the air from 1 to 3 p.m. every afternoon. Forget my political show for a second. Forget the fact that I own my own production company. Forget the fact that I own my own YouTube channel. I just gave you 2 jobs where I'm obligated to address the news. Y'all volunteering.
Oh, I get it. So you want a big time everybody. Okay, because you have the suits that are paying your checks. That gives you a pass, but anybody that is independent is volunteering. That is a stance. That is a stance. Are we going to be consistent with that energy and that kind of slander? Because that's not going to go well. That's not going to go well at all. But it certainly will with the red hats. It will help you. That whole corporate thing that you just spotted, great with the red hats. Trump going to love it.
Matt Barnes, you know that on my worst day, I would never talk about you like that. Not in a million goddamn years. Not in a million years. You know that. Why? How? Because I've had ample opportunity to do so, and I never have. Not in your entire career. I've always looked out. I've always big upped. I've always had nothing but profound respect for you. And I got to see you on social media popping shit about me like that? Really?
Okay. On the one hand, Stephen A., I could see how wrong it might rub you to see somebody you feel like you're cool taking to social media and taking shots at you. I 1,000% understand that. Now, just imagine how bad it has to be for them to feel the need to do so repeatedly. Because this ain't your first rodeo, and Matt Barnes ain't the first time that you've expressed dismay at somebody calling out your MAGA heel turn. Your ill-timed MAGA heel turn, I might add. Oh, your right-wing buddies got your back. Stephen A. Smith drops the mic on Matt Barnes, tears into his softball interview with Gavin Newsom.
And you had him in front of your face, and what you ask him? Did you ask him about the homeless crisis? Did you ask him about the bullet train, where billions haven't been accounted for? Did you ask him about the taxes in the state of California? Highest in the country. Any relief in sight whatsoever? No, they're trying to raise them. Did you ask him about that? The oil industry regulation. Isn't the state of California getting oil from the Bahamas? Did you ask him about that? Anything at all? Anything?
Ooh, my turn. How about your interview with Ted Cruz? We can play that game. I volunteered for it.
Here's what I wanted to bring up to you, because I'm very uncomfortable. This is not about you. I'm very uncomfortable with things that I've seen from Tucker Carlson.
Yeah.
Some of the verbiage, a recent interview with Nick Fuentes.
Yeah.
Some of the things that have been said, and we don't have time to get into the specifics per se, but it was very uncomfortable to listen to some of the stuff they've said about race, some of the stuff that was articulated about the Jewish community or whatever.
Ah, yeah. You thought he was going black, didn't you? Y'all thought he was... I told y'all about Black MAGA. I told you how Black MAGA been spending their time. He on it. Hey, Stephen A., ask him about Tucker Carlson pressing him on the Bible verse that he uses to underpin his entire political ideology vis-a-vis Israel. and his inability to respond. Ask him that. Oh, you won't. Nah, you won't.
And you made news because of an interview you had with Tucker Carlson months ago, whenever that was. I want to know, what are your feelings about the state of this country, the climate, particularly when you see the kind of rhetoric that he's been tackling?
Listen, Stephen, you and I are on exactly the same page on this.
The same page with Ted Cruz. It's going great. It's going great.
And look, I look at it, the question of anti-Semitism. I think 10 years ago in the Democrat Party, you started to see an anti-Semitism rise. And a lot of the Democrat leaders looked the other way. They hoped it would go away. And I think it's all but taken over their party. And Mondami's a good example of just how extreme that can get.
Yeah. You have a whole fracture on the right wing of MAGA based on Israel. And it's taken over the Democratic Party. That's what he said. You know, Stephen A., I've given you a lot of resistance about your right-wing heel turn. That's where you belong. Honestly, it fits. It fits like a glove. My main issue is you just not being open and honest about it. That's my main. Look who's platforming you. Stephen A. Smith drops bombshells on the Dem field. Do I believe I would take out Gavin Newsom? Yes, I do. From Jordan Wells, with a nod to the Daily Caller.
Let them find a way for me to be on that debate stage and still be able to go back to work.
Please.
I'll be there. I'll be there. I'm telling you right now, I'll tell you right now, I will show up on that stage, not knowing anything compared to what Gavin Newsom might know, or I don't care. I'll be ready. I'll be ready for that debate now. And I don't believe that he is. I respect Gav, all right? He wouldn't beat me. I don't believe for 1 second. Do I believe I would take Gavin Newsom out? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Do I believe I would go against Kamala and beat her? Yes, I do. I think I'd beat most of the Democratic Party because there's too much dancing, and I don't dance. That's what I believe.
Huh? They love you. The Daily Caller loves you. But yeah, tell us again about the effect on black men and black women. I support HBCU. Kamala. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Huh? Oh, he had something positive to say about somebody attacking MAGA? Stephen A. Smith reacted to Nick Fuentes saying he plans to vote for the Democrats in the midterms in spite of Trump.
On the right, Mr. Nick Fuentes. If you haven't heard this, I hope you sit down. You might catch a heart attack. Listen to this.
I wore this stupid fucking ridiculous hat when I was in college, like an idiot. When I was 18, I had people threatening to kick my ass. I wore this in the cafeteria. I became a pariah. And look at what it has profited all of us. You break your promises, I'll go to the other team. It doesn't mean I believe in them, but I'll go to them because I know they're going to fuck you.
Did you see Fuentes break down what he hasn't done? He broke it down better than the Democrats. There's no border wall. There's no flourishing economy. You got the war in Iran. You understand? He's breaking it on. He's breaking it down better than the Democrats. What y'all need to talk for? Let him talk. Let him talk.
So Stephen A. Smith, you mean to tell me when you do find it in your bag to co-sign somebody taking shots at this administration, it's Nick Fuentes? The same guy who you were concerned about his anti-Semitism with Ted Cruz, who you're on the same page with. This is way farther than even I knew. Honestly, this is nasty work. Honestly, this This is nasty, disgusting work. I didn't even know it was going to get this bad. I really did. All this over LeBron in Memphis. I'm glad you said that, though, because I had wanted to say something about the regret to vote for Kamala, but the LeBron Memphis thing was absurd. Shout out to the Pivot podcast, though, who I thought had the best take on all of this.
I think it's become a stupid conversation because LeBron said something. He also said he didn't like playing in Milwaukee. You don't see people all in a tizzy because of Milwaukee. And it's been the talking heads that have added this like community culture piece to it. But here's the other thing. There's a 2-time finals MVP, league MVP, a multiple-time gold medalist, top 5 scorer in the league who said the same thing. There's the young face of American basketball, Anthony Edwards, who said the same thing about some stuff with his bed. Derek White, who's an Olympian. So other people, Draymond Green, have said this. This is not about the culture, right? We can't ask celebrities and athletes that when on the golf course with Robbie Berger from Brilliantly Dumb, and we're asking funny questions, we can't ask them to be activists in everything that they say. I think that's first and foremost. And then let's move on to who these dudes are. Basketball players ain't us. They get max contracts. These boys get over $300 million in one pop in the contract. They not staying at no Westin. I was in a hotel with the OKC a couple of weeks ago. They had the 4 Seasons. So yes, when I go to a place that's not the 4 Seasons or not the Ritz-Carlton, in my bougie basketballness, I don't like being there.
That was extremely well said. Shout out to Ryan Clark and Shannon Crowder and all those brothers over there at the Pivot podcast, as well as all the other people that have volunteered to enter this conversation.
To me, just me, I wouldn't say it out loud. Because it's like this, right? And he's right. It's been other players who said this. He's not the first person to say it. But he's, whether he likes it or not, he's the face of the NBA, one of the faces of the NBA. And what he says carries a lot of weight. And he may not give a f***. He like, man, whatever, killer. Fuck you talking about? You go spend the night in Memphis. Because I'm not. You know, I've been asked to be, and I'm being honest, I'm not even being funny. It's been times I've been on shows in Memphis, not recently, but I've been asked to go to Memphis recently, and I haven't because I just don't know what's going on in the city.
Hey, Cameron, well, where would you recommend going?
For me, it was Phoenix, Scottsdale. That was a place I never would have thought to go. One time I went there and I really enjoyed it. It was really nice. And San Diego was another place that I really enjoyed.
Okay.
I think both those cities that Mace said is nice. If you're looking at landscape and everything else, you're talking about the chicks. Nasty. It depends on what you're talking about, Stat.
See, again, you like to spice things up. You have a different criteria.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking, because you narrow it down.
I asked for that, didn't I? I asked for that, yeah. Hey, he was the author and originator of Pepe Le Pew Pew. I knew what I was walking into.